It's that time. The Bright Side Chronicles is about to go down with Kerri and Nana. You ready for the show to begin?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. It's almost showtime. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost go time. Let's freaking go.
That's right, bitches. It only took me 3 weeks to figure out Nana's Instagram feed, but
What
we're
up?
back and
What
we
up?
coming in hot.
Yeah.
So what is popping, my amazing Agyemang?
Yo, you know what's crazy is I didn't hear the intro. I was excited to hear it. It wasn't playing on my end, but I know I felt the energy when it did the countdown. I was like, oh yeah, this gonna work. This gonna work.
Well, okay, so for the listening audience, welcome to episode 54 of the Bright Side Chronicles, where Nana and I, which is so weird to say Nana, but that's how some
I know,
people
right?
do, so
Like
whatever.
it's like speaking
Right
in
now,
third
you're Lofi.
Lofi.
Luffy. Where
Hey,
Luffy
yo,
and I
Lofi
come
is
together to talk about all things joy, because in a world where we really perpetuate, or at least I feel we perpetuate a negative narrative, we talk about things that bring us joy and how showing up and being joy filled allows us to experience life with ease, even when we are having challenging situations like you have been as of late.
Yeah, and you know what's even cool is Luffy's characters, like his form. He has a form called Joy Boy, which is the reason why I wore the hat and outfit today.
You mean boy toy?
No, Joy Boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got confused.
Wrong
I wasn't
lo-fi.
sure. I'm just saying.
That's lo-fi. That's not Luffy. No, but yeah, no, it's just literally like he's just a free spirited person that's just living his best life, and I figured this was the outfit that I wanted to wear today. So, damn, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
Well,
But
for anybody out there watching, this is a conversation with you all too. So if you have any thoughts or want to share what brings you joy,
yeah,
and how leaning into joy inspires you navigating challenging times, please feel free to let us know. But
yeah,
go ahead.
but yeah, so yes, that's what you're saying. Like the whole like dealing with like challenges of this month, whether it's like work wise or just personal life stuff and things of that nature.
I didn't do it, guys. I promise. Not today.
What thing?
You said personal life. I mean,
No, gosh, no.
in your personal life, I might
no,
be the problem. I'm just saying.
It's not true. No, it's definitely more just like wanting to be busy at work is the thing that's kind of like hindering my excitement sometimes when I go into work, because you know it's a grind with anything in general. It's just like you've seen it. I've been telling you, I'm like, babe, like there's days I leave work and I'm like, I didn't do anything today, like, and I don't mind like the whole like getting paid hourly, but like I want to make sure I earn my keep, as in for my own peace of mind. You know what I mean? So, what's been keeping me grounded despite the challenges of work? Definitely catching up with you, because that's a huge thing, especially with like if I have a tumultuous day and it's just like, bruh, you can't make it up. Just being able to vent it's been a focal point of just like talking about like, you know, how the day going and how did it get better as it went along. And there's actually been a lot more interpersonal bonding that I've been getting at work. More like I'm meeting customers that I've been able to help out with previous customers, or a customer that buys his truck and 48 hours later he doesn't want the truck anymore. Which is the first ever for me in the almost 11 years of doing it. But we did the right thing to help him out, to figure it out, to make sure that he doesn't put himself in a bad situation. And then obviously the gym has been a huge part of keeping my mental straight. Because if I have an off day, I'm in the gym. If I have a great day, I'm in the gym. You know, or if it's, you know, just peace of mind to go work out, I'm there. You know, and then we've done a couple like off, you know, life activities with like graduations to like, you know, just different things in life. You know, with going to the lake, which is freaking amazing. Learning how to kayak briefly was cool as hell. So there's been a couple good parts. But what about yourself? And look at your cheesy little smile on your face.
Well, you know, I was thinking about it, right? So going back to the question I asked you about how you navigate difficult circumstances by cultivating joy. Something I was sharing with you yesterday is how beautiful I think it is so many people extend themselves to you. So, for example, you put out a request on Instagram to have people make a flyer for your Comic-Con meetup or your Kineticon meetup. And 2 people took time to create something that was really well done so that you had something to promote what was important to you. And then yesterday you had somebody stop by and they had handmade a jersey, right? A shirt for Nana and World Cup.
Yep, the clothing brand. So I first and foremost actually want to touch into the whole like flyer for Kineticon. So it caused a little I guess a stir, I guess. So basically I put up on Instagram and I said, hey, whoever wants to make me a flyer, I want to promote my meetups. Make me a flyer, and then the best one I'll pick out. And then so somebody had reached out to me, my friend Chrissy. She reached out, came up with a really great flyer, and I loved it. Oh shit, shut up, Brody. I loved the flyer. So I put it up on the Kineticon page, and a couple people were upset about it. And I was like, this is a great ass flyer. Come to find out, she had used AI, and so that kind of like literally caused a little stir with a couple people that felt some type of way about it. And so in the beginning, I was frustrated because I'm like, bro, like I had done nothing and I didn't even know that it was an AI. I just was like, oh, this is a cool ass flyer. You know what I mean? Yo, appreciate you, sis. Oh my gosh, you know what? That's actually Liz who made the most recent flyer, by the way, too. Because the whole. So
the gummy
cocos, yes, she made.
We're talking about you, girlfriend. We've been just shouting out your praises.
She made the Cartoon Network one, and then also the One Punch Man one, the superheroes one. But the reason why is because people felt like it was AI taking away from the art, and I was like, no, I'm just not good with making flyers. And so, for that to kind of be a thing, what happened was I was like, I can look at this in a negative light and be like going at somebody and just keep going back and forth. Or I can put out the challenge of, hey, if whoever makes the best flyer, I'll pick it. You know what I mean? And no AI generator or anything. And actually, Liz, a.k.a. Gummy Cocos, reached out and was like, hey, I'll make you a flyer. And I was like, this is the details. This is what I'm looking for. And it came out dope, both of them. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. So, like, I got to give credit to Liz because that was really cool how it could have been a negative narrative, but it was flipped over to a positive. You know what I mean? Damn, everybody's out here today.
Yeah, listen, I'm having to work. I'm having to, because they're all like, Nana hasn't been on for 3 weeks.
I know, right?
See this girl, everything that we do here, I have taught myself how to do. And so,
I love that it says sending positive vibes out from Nico. So it's like Nico is a Nico Robin from One Piece. So like.
Okay, well, wait a minute. So,
you're good.
Zilla 180.2. I love the 0.2 because that's, better.
That's so dope.
Says, Nana, make Nana a panel for Comic-Con. Listen.
Hey, yo. You know what? We can just put it out there and just...
Well, my question is, what panel would you want him to have it on? Because there's a lot. But anyway, real quick, cool, I do want to respond to what you had shared. My take to your point is I focus on the energy exchanged. Mm-hmm. So the reason I'm passionate about this show and the Bright Side Chronicles is it is an energy exchange, and it's an energy exchange of love, which is a much higher vibration than that of fear. Yep. And so when you look at the amount of gifts that people bestow upon you, whether it's time making a flyer or dropping by your job to give you a shirt, or sharing how you inspire them with just words, that is a really powerful energy exchange. And it's because of what you and I send out into the world.
Well, that's a great point, because I've always looked at it as like the golden rule, right? Treat everybody how you want to be treated. So, like, if I meet someone, I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, how are you? You know what I mean? Just to check in, because that's just how I am as a regular ass person. I just want to just, like, vibe with people and stuff like that. And unless if you know me, like, most of the time, like, I'm literally just a regular ass dude. And I'll be telling people, I tell you all the time, I'm like, babe, I'm just a regular dude just trying to just enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? And it's never to be like self-absorbed and like I'm too cool to talk to him. Like that's never been a thing for me. And it's not going to be because like at the end of the day, I look at it as like, you know what, somebody took time to just at least stop by and say what up to just at least introduce themselves. You know what I mean? But I see we got a couple cool responses. Go ahead. You can read it out, baby. I got you.
Well, okay. Zilla 180.2. Love you, man.
Appreciate you.
Much love. And then Liz, you know,
or Gummy Cocos
about needing more love. So that's the thing, you know, Liz, this is what I've shared with Nana. We are both people who put ourselves out in the public platform, and as a result, we have to be comfortable catching hate.
Mm-hmm.
And I really fundamentally subscribe to the ideology that darkness is not going to drive out darkness, light is. And so choosing to extend kindness to people who are, you know, shedding hate towards Nana and how he shows up in the world, or myself, that is the work that I know that I do and Nana does. So that way we can actually embody this idea of the bright side of life rather than just show up once a week and talk about all these joyful things. Because if we're not catching hate and making a in the moment real time choice to choose kindness and compassion and curiosity, then, you know, we're just talking a cheap game.
So perfect example, right? So I had the One Piece meetup at Rhode Island Anime. So shout out to the piece for letting me hold that down with Becky, by the way. Shout out to Bombshell Becky. So we had a meetup, and then at the end of the meetup, we had done like a horror farming circle, which is literally everybody lines up in a circle.
Yeah, you had mad heads up in there.
Yeah, it was cool as heck. It was awesome. But it was the thing about the horror farming circle is it's always meant to just showcase people's amazing outfits. That's literally all it is. You get like a 2-second shot. It goes around and it shows, you know, people's outfits. But when we post it up, and it's really weird because it's gone like low key viral, which, you know, myself, if it goes viral, whatever. I just put things up because I want to put things out. But it has almost like 70K views. And then there were some really amazing compliments and comments. And then there was some negative stuff. And I'm like, how do you get a negative out of just people just being themselves? So I just respond to those comments and just be like, have a nice day, drink some water. Because like I just literally, because I'm not going to feed into it. I can feed into it and be petty about it, but I was like, I'm not even going to do it. I just know that person could be trying to rage bait people and just try to egg some people on, and like it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to even like entertain that. And I'm at the point in life where like there's a lot of stuff that I really just try to like shed over, because I understand that like some people don't get it. And then, you know, some people just see a different narrative online and they're just like, oh, like this dude got to be a machismo. Like, and I'm like, I'm a regular, basic, down to earth person. If you meet me in person, it's the same energy you get online. You know what I mean? So like, I try to keep it authentic as possible.
But I also think it's really important for people to understand that there's 8 billion people in the world and there's 8 billion different perspectives. And so, you know, you and I talk a lot about this outside of the show, but I'm a big fan of not even responding, you know. I mean, I've been called a boy before. I've gotten hate, but the thing is they get to have their opinion. There are a lot of people who don't think women look good with short hair. So, you know, I'm not going to waste my energy, you know.
Just saying, I think you look gorgeous though. Just saying.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna grow my hair long now.
It's less hair to pull now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
No, we got wigs. Anyhow, numerous wigs.
Shout out to Jenna. I know that. For the love, you know, I got nothing but love for you.
Yeah, absolutely. But what about yourself, babe? How was your week been and things of that nature? Like, let the audience know how are you doing?
I am trying to
multitasking. You're multitasking.
That's what I'm doing. See, you be putting me on the spot.
No, my fault. I'm over here like, back and forth. I'm just like,
no, I appreciate it. So I might have to, if it doesn't want to post, I'm gonna have to read it. But it's easier for me to do this. Here we go.
Yes.
So for me, You know, I'm like, here's the thing.
Thank you.
I am a firm believer, and you and I, again, we talk about this a lot, and I would encourage the listening audience to consider this perspective too.
Yeah.
Um, every moment we get to choose differently. Every moment we get to decide we're going to have a different perspective. And so this week has been a lot of being aware
Mm,
of how I feel and what I'm experiencing and making a different
mhm,
choice.
mhm.
Because ultimately, the bright side of life is choosing a perspective. And
Correct.
as you know, right? So you've had a challenging week at work, building up cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent 6 years building a global business,
Yeah.
and I've done it purposefully with no marketing because I wanted to build it through word of mouth because what I do, you need to build trust. But it requires immense resilience, and this week has tested my resilience.
Mm.
But it's been a beautiful week because it's shown me all the things to be grateful for: being able to talk to you, going out in the backyard and grounding, being able
Mhm.
to, garden, getting hugs from our daughters, connecting with people. And every moment that I find myself feeling sorry for myself, or a couple moments, that's just more moments that I have to choose a different perspective. And that's what
Mm.
I do. And that's the work that I do all the time in my own life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the word resilience is always going to be something that I truly enjoy. Only reason because it's like, it's the ever, I guess it's the never quitting mentality of like, okay, you can go through the most like toughest times, but you just still get up and just like, okay, like that happened. Now I gotta still keep pushing through and enjoy my life to the fullest. You know what I mean? And I think if I ever were to tattoo a word on myself, that would definitely be like right over here. Because
The word that I have tattooed that I love. Can you see it?
I was gonna say, oh, okay, there you go. I was like, what? But that's the thing is like the resilience word is like it's so true because I was even thinking about it at the gym today, right? I was like, dang man, life has really been like just different this whole like with work wise and everything. But like I'm still not a quitter. Like the thing in my head is like I just can't fathom the idea of like I just gave in. I just gave in and just let shit slide. Like I'd rather go down fighting than like just quit. You know what I mean? I just don't have it in me to be like, damn. Like it's just not been me. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I think Michael Jordan said this quote where he was like, I never lost a game, I just ran out of time. And I'm like, yo, that's real shit. Like, he's like, if I just had more time, I could probably shift it. You know what I mean? Not, even if it's down by 30, he still feels like, nah, we can still come back. We can still come back. Down by 30 and a half. And you've seen it happen. It happens all the time. Perfect example, right? Patriots 28-3 in the fucking Super Bowl. With, what is it, like 4 minutes or 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and then somehow pulls a miraculous comeback? Like, bro, and wins the freaking Super Bowl, the biggest stage. Like, there's proof in the pudding that shows that like if you don't give up on yourself, ultimately things have to eventually shift into your favor, right? You can have the most like shittiest start of the month and finish off strong regardless of whatever it is, or you can be an opposite end. You can start really good and just be okay, cool, like, but like I don't know, it's just the whole not.
But I also think that ties into your continued belief that you're going to be invited to New York Comic Con and New York Anime, which I equally believe. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna pivot real quick and then I'll circle back to my original thought because listen, for the listening audience, when we're talking about physics and joy being really a profound energy and stuff. Do you know that if 2 or more people have their mind focused on an achieved outcome, it's going to happen. I mean, it will happen no matter what, but it will happen more quickly. And so anytime Nana tells me that he has a goal in mind, I always focus my energy to help him achieve that goal. And so when you're thinking about the bright side of life, are you surrounding yourself by people who will literally send out positive energy, even if they don't understand it, right? I don't give a rat's ass about New York Comic Con other than it makes my man's happy. But I send out positive energy because I know that will bring him joy, and I want to be able to extend that to him. right? But then going back to my original thought, when you say, there's no quit in you, right?
Yeah.
Like, quitting is believing that you'll never have the opportunity to be invited to those cons when you keep getting denied.
Mm-hmm.
We're staying resilient and trusting the processes. Even if it's 5 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, I never stopped believing that was possible. And as a result, I'm here. And so for the listening audience, listen, I'll be the first to tell you myself, ask Nana, there are moments when I'm like, I'm done. I'm checked out. This ain't for me. So I take those moments, but then I'm like, okay, I'm done being stuck. Now I'm going to pick back up where I was going and keep it moving. And I've never, ever not believed that any one of my goals is possible. And some of them have taken decades to achieve.
I mean, perfect example, right? 2 years ago, the goal was to be simply just like invited to a con. It was 2 years ago, a year ago, whatever it was.
I want to say about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. And I just remember I was like, babe, I just want to just like, all I asked, it's not even for like clout chasing or anything. I just, hey, we want you to just be a part of our con. That was literally it. And I was like, it just gotta happen. It just gotta happen because I know the energy that I bring out there is useful for that. People need that. You know what I mean? Like, they're going through like a lot of stuff in life and this is their getaway. So like, if I'm able to just be myself and in that moment, bring a sense of joy to people, bro, why would you not want that person at your event that's promoting that sense of joy? You know what I mean? And shout out to the people that have reached out to like Rhode Island, Connecticut,
New Jersey, Connecticut. What is it, PAX East or no? What is it? Yep.
Which is cool as
hell. I be paying attention. And listen, y'all. All right, here's another thing. I'm a air all our laundry.
No, go ahead.
That's what I do anyway.
Right now.
I know.
So it's all good.
Which it doesn't break my heart at all that I folded all that and it looks like that. I'm just saying.
Just trying to keep it OxyClean, Oh, this is covered up. Sorry. Anyhow, but yeah, good. You're good.
So PAX East invited you to be a part of their convention.
Nerd Caliber reached
Wait,
out.
which one is the one that's during our anniversary?
Well, I can't.
Okay.
but
there's a thing.
I don't know yet.
Right, but the thing is
well, you're good.
Like in the interest of the bright side, and I know I've said this before, but I really think it bears mentioning. You and me celebrating our anniversary on the exact day that we met at a gas station versus you being able to go do something that really infuses you with joy, right? It to me, there's no contest. Like, of course, I'm going to support you doing the thing. I get to spend time with you every week. Why wouldn't I want you to be able to take advantage of something that you put out in the universe to make manifest? And it has. And I could easily have the perspective, oh, Nana's not spending time with me. Oh, but
I always make time.
But right, that does not allow for me to feel good about my relationship with you and or feel joy-filled about life in general. And so I always think about what is going to bring me joy, what's going to give me lightness of heart. And that's the thing I choose. And it is usually contrary to what like society deems as the right thing to do. But this way I really want people to understand your job is to do what's right for you, not what makes sense for anybody else.
Ooh, that's like a mic drop moment because I think
so important.
Well, so actually it's so funny because I saw this reel on Instagram that was like social media is meant to be like for you to express yourself and just put out the stuff that you find appealing to you. And if people gravitate towards it, great. And if they don't, that's okay. But you did the stuff that you want to do. But like, I feel like it's, and it's actually, this leads back to like being in a couple group chats. Like earlier this week, I was like, I have way too many group chats that like, I just don't feel like I'm a part of anymore because I just outgrown them. And it's not anything bad that they're bad people or whatever. They're great people, but like, we just have different aspirations, right? Some people want a huge following, which is amazing. If you want that, go get it. Go do your thing. Some people want, monetization. Hey, I get it. We all got to pay bills. It's all what it is. And then some people just want to post it and just be goofy. That's okay. But like, you get to a point where like it does get overwhelming. And I realized, I was like, yo, this is a lot. I'm like, I have way too many notifications blowing up my phone constantly. And I'm like, I put a lot of this stuff on mute, but like, I was just like, nah, I just got to just leave the group and just keep it like simple. Cause it got to a point where I just felt like I was just in there and I was just idle. Right. And I was like, you know what, if I'm not bringing any value to this, it doesn't make sense for me to be a part of it. And that's just real stuff. Like, it wasn't anything bad. And I told some of the people, I was like, yeah, like, I'm going to leave this group chat. It just don't fit within what I'm looking for. And it helped within the process of it. But I also understood that I had outgrown that aspect of it as well, too,
Well, I mean, that speaks volumes to joy. We expand all the time. And so often people's biggest challenge is that they hold on to what's familiar rather than just letting it go because it no longer serves them. And for example, I was talking to an individual who their habit, it's very familiar for them to be the nice person. The nice say yes to, but that nice person never gets their needs met, and as a result is explosive. So the nice person is actually highly reactive, and the illusion is, well, I just don't want to let anybody down, and that's holding on to an old concept that clearly doesn't serve you because you suffer. And for you, it clearly doesn't serve you. It doesn't bring you joy. So you cut it. You cut ties. And that's what I encourage so many people to do, is to cut ties, because you owe it to yourself to feed what brings you joy, and what doesn't, not feel like you are responsible for keeping it around because it's what you know, or you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. It has nothing to do with the other individual. It has to do with your bandwidth. You have so much energy to extend, and where do you want to place that energy? And you get to choose where you place your energy.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so true. And I think that's the thing that I had to tell myself. I was like, yo, like, I just felt like I just outgrown the mission that was originally like just what the cause of it was. And that's okay. Like, I literally was like, there's not any bad malice. I just literally was over the aspect of what the group chat was about. You know what I mean? And there'll probably be more group chats that I'll probably get invited to, which I'm grateful for when they do. And I can assess at that point if it makes sense for me to be a part of it, or if it makes sense for me not be a part of it. And I'm okay. And I can still have these genuine bonds with people and understand that, yeah, okay, he's not part of the group chat, but he still like appreciates us as human beings and like, just regular people. And I think too many times the expectation of like being in a group, like I do a lot of stuff like dolo. Let's keep it a buck. Like I do a lot of stuff like I just, unless if I need help for something, I normally like I'll figure it out eventually.
I want to know where you got the term dolo.
That's like that's an old school word.
Like
solo dolo.
Solo I get. Dolo I don't get. And you always say it. So since we're here, educate me. Educate the white girl.
Nah, so Kid Cudi had a song, Mr. Solo.
Oh, Lexi just said I'm showing my age.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Lex. Damn. But Solo Dolo, that's like if you look up the term, is Solo, Mr. Solo Dolo. That's like a Kid Cudi song. He's just by himself, just doing his own thing.
Well, Manny just said he used to use it when he was dating Ellen. So, and they've been together 30 years. They old.
How do you not know? You are multicultural. You are.
I am. But listen, what can I say? As I said yesterday, I am open-minded and aware of my limitations and ignorance.
You're something else. But no, you know what? Another moment of joy this week really was checking out the Ghanaian the watch party for the World Cup.
That was great.
Yeah, that was. Go ahead. Explain. Go ahead. And
for me, watching first off, all of these beautiful people from your culture come together in the city of Worcester was really lovely. And then, of course, the dancing, say less. The music, except for Ghana's national anthem, which was questionable.
Yeah, I think that was the England one, though. Let's keep it a bug.
I was like, this is the Ghanaian national anthem, because it sounds like really old, ancient European.
Okay,
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, no, but seriously, seeing the joy on all of the individuals' faces, or all of the police officers who were dying laughing because you were dressed in oh my God, who were you?
Ghanaian Cyclops. That's what it was.
Yeah, there you go.
It was Cyclops, the Ghanaian version. It was a canon character. It wasn't meant to be like that. But you know what? We came up with the idea of the outfit though, right? Is that the little guy?
Who's that? Are you gonna be shy with Agy?
Why are you shy? You literally know who I am, bro. Like, come on. I've known you since you were like born, bro.
This is the best part of my day because I haven't given him hugs and a grip.
Bro, just be like, all right, you just get you 2 seconds of hug and then dip. But
well, no, I kind of skedaddle him, but you know what I'm saying. But no, that event was amazing.
No, it was. So the thing I liked about it was that like we were shooting to go to the World Cup game. Didn't happen, but thank goodness there was a backup plan to go check out the watch party, which is amazing. Like literally, I left work and I was so excited, and obviously, babe picked me up, so that was really cool as hell. And I was like, babe, I need my super suit. Like, honey, where's my super suit looking ass? Like, that's, that's
welcome to my life, guys. I literally get phone calls from Nana at work, and he's like, okay, so I'm gonna need you to get this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece is in the closet, and this piece is here.
But you're on top of yourself,
together a fit.
I gotta give you credit. You're for somebody that doesn't know like the anime and cosplay world, you're like, is this the Naruto sweater or the Goku one? And I'm like, okay, she's picking up a little bit here and there. So I gotta give you credit for that. That's real shit. That's real shit. What's the black sweater, babe? What's the black sweater?
That is Naruto.
Ah, you see? She's good with that stuff.
It's only because so many people are like, oh my God, I love Naruto. I'm like, I've never seen the episode, but you know what? I'm glad that you do. I love wearing my boyfriend's clothes.
Yo, I appreciate you. No, but it was awesome. Like, and then like just seeing the pure joy in people. And I was talking about this the other day too, how the World Cup has literally brought so much joy to a lot of people. You have people rooting for different teams, different nations or whatever, but they get together for that 90 minutes and can enjoy each other regardless of who ends up winning. You can see like reels and stuff, but people just really still enjoying it. Like Scotland is out the tournament, but they probably had the best like aura or people that like were just like, hey, we're just here for a good time. We know our team is trying to figure it out, but they brought fucking revenue, like a lot more revenue to fucking Boston. And I'm like, damn, like I want to go meet these people, like the people from over the pond. You know what I mean? Like that's real shit. Like when you come out here and just kind of just enjoy the moment, it was cool as hell. You know what I mean? To see people just really living in the moment, and the World Cup is bringing that energy, and I think that's what the world needs with everything going on. I think that joy of even a month of all this, it's a beautiful time to see that happening. You know. Well, shout out to Messi because Messi's the GOAT. So
listen,
shout out to Messi.
I really did love to see, well, more than that, you were able to connect with individuals you haven't seen since college because everybody came out for the watch party.
Yes. Shout out to freaking like John Mace. Even a customer that had bought a car and then they went, sideways because insurance is too high. I was like, oh, what the heck would you do out here? And then even a couple aunts that I haven't seen off the rip who know my family, but I don't like keep up with them as much. It was cool to try to see that, and then seeing friends like Jomar would put in the work for promoting that event and everything like that too. Like it was just amazing to see the city come together, and we got there on the tail end of it too. That's the thing is like it was. I saw videos where it was like really packed when the game was going on, and I'm like, yo, this is cool as heck. But like it made sense because people are rooting and cheering the team on. Like it's cool as heck, and the Ghanaian community is huge in Worcester. That's why I was thinking it's like. It's a respectable culture. Like people really appreciate who you are as a person, and they're kind. Like that's what I grew up with, and it wasn't meant to be like, growing up and not showing respect to people. That's a big thing in the Ghanaian culture too. So, but yeah, no, that was definitely a highlight of this week for sure.
Well, when we're talking about highlights of this week, I have one.
Go ahead.
It's not done right now, but me and my daughter cut my own hair because my hairdresser went MIA. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just do it myself. And not for nothing, but something that I would encourage people to consider, and I know we talked about this last week, is our brain is meant to grow and expand. However that looks for you is personalized, but it is meant to be challenged. And so, fortunately for you, you've seen me over the past 6 years. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. I've learned how to
I
do
support it.
so many things. And so I solicited our daughter to cut my back. Well, actually, all she had to do was make it even because I couldn't really see it that well. But it was fun. It was an experience where she was able to recognize that she could cut her mom's hair. And if it came out busted, I wasn't going to be pressed, because I think we get really hung up on looks sometimes. Me as a woman included, right?
Yeah.
I'm 10 pounds heavier than I
Don't even look it.
to be.
Don't even look it.
And it's definitely caused me some
I still see that smile on your face.
judgment.
Nah,
I love you. But I was able to show her that, it's not about the attachment of the hair. It's not about, so it's about trying new things. And as a result, she went and cut off all her hair, which I was
Shout
super
out.
proud of her.
And it looks mad good. I was
It
like,
looks
yo,
so
look at,
cute.
yo, it's like a mini you, bro. It's literally a mini you. Like,
Yeah, except for her hair ain't blonde. And she
Well,
really
that's
don't
true.
look a ton like me. Kind
No,
of
no,
like me, but she white like me.
Yeah.
She ain't got that dark skin.
bruh. Bruh.
But no, that
No
was a
way.
really, really beautiful moment of joy this week. Another moment of joy was you were really vulnerable with me and told me that sometimes you have a hard time what? I'm
Telling you
on
about my
blast.
wins. Telling you about my wins. Telling you about my wins.
So share.
Yeah, no. It's just because, like, just like yourself and myself, I manifest a lot of stuff. So, like, per se, like, being invited to cons, like, that's a cool shit. That's like, I'd be grateful for it, because you just never know. You know what I mean? And so, like, there's a moment where you told me, you're like, babe, like, it's tough because I've seen you get these things, and then you're doing the same exact thing, and it's not happening like that. So I felt some type of way about, like, not being able to, like, open myself up to you and just, like, tell you, hey, this happened or whatever it is, just because I just didn't want to feel like I was, like, showboating and you're getting the short end of the stick. You know what I mean?
So if anybody is still on here watching, I would really,
Oh shit,
I know. What's up?
What up, buddy?
It's Sethi Moves?
Yes.
Sethi Moves.
He's so good. He's just good people. He's such good people.
Yeah. I'm with it. But for anybody out there watching, I'd be curious to hear what your position is on this. And, I bring this up because I think part of, again, I'm always going to tie it into the bright side of life, right? So, bright, joy-filled. Part of joy is being able to be vulnerable and honest with the people that you're closest to, you being my person and vice versa. And so being able to have you share that with me and me sharing with you equally that, I am human, and there are times where it can feel a bit hard for me to see you get all of these accolades, and I do the same thing in my perspective field, because it is very different, and it feels like I'm not seen. Does not mean that I don't want to share in your accolades, right? And I think that being able to have really authentic conversations allows us to keep a really strong bond. And, we are always going to have that back and forth. There are going to be times where I am seeing the fruits of my labor make manifest in ways that are expected. And you're on the sidelines and vice versa. And being able to be honest and supportive while still honoring where we are in our own humanness is super important.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And you know what? I'm actually going to throw this out there. One thing that also brought me an amount of joy this week was my coworker, Laz. Like, this month, he's been putting in work. And, like, I literally was, as much as, like, in the beginning, like, he's a little coming out my neck in the beginning of him being at hard. But he's grown on me, as in, like, I respect him and I respect his grind and his mentality. Like, he's been killing it this month at work with. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get Circle of Excellence, which I'm actually really, really excited for because I know that he does put in the work. Like he has been writing deals and cars have been landing, and I'm like, bro, go get it. Go get what you deserve. You deserve to be up there if that's the aspiration. But I'm like, go get your check, my boy. Like you know what I mean? Go get whatever the fruits of labor that you put into it. So like I just wanted to give him a shout out because I know that he's been definitely putting the work, and you know, once you hit that momentum of just like in a groove, you just want to keep that going. And I think he's inspired me actually this month to be like, nah, there's no way. Like there's no way. And like because I see him, I'm like, I see him keep writing deals. And I'm like, yo, dude's putting in the work. Like he really is. And so like I want to give him a shout out because that was a really cool moment when he came up to me. He's like, hey, like what do I need to get the Circle of Excellence? And I said, this, that, just get all these check boxes. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you get that. Because if you're on the path of it, why not go get it? You know what I mean? Don't get to 24 and then stop. But like, you know, just
I am going to bring that up real quick. But before I do, I will say this. I think that speaks to the energy that comes back to, like when we were just talking about how all these beautiful gifts end up coming to you and stuff, is because you're not a gatekeeper. So with, you know, Laz, yeah, maybe he used you as fuel to chase after what he thought was possible. Fine, that's cool. Yeah. But when his end game was near, like he was still able to reach out to you, and you were supportive of him, and not Absolutely. Just and that's super important, because I think that's part of, you know, this idea of this, if I share with you, then I'm going to lose out, really keeps people from experiencing greatness, because greatness comes when you share, when like you give of yourself to other people.
Yeah. I mean, perfect example, right? Michael Jordan could have been a gatekeeper and just not want to give Kobe Bryant advice on how to get better, and we would have been looking at Kobe Bryant probably in a different light. But MJ was like, you know what? I see something in you. I can give you, and that's always been me too. Like if somebody comes in and seeks advice, I'm going to give them the advice to figure out what makes the most amount of sense to them. And if it works for them, great. And if it doesn't, at least I spoke my piece and let them know how to go about it. But like that's a huge thing. Like not being a gatekeeper, even with cosplay, like the perfect example was I made a video where it was like, put your your Instagram on your like laminate and put it on your ticket when you're at a con, because it's the easiest way to just have people just follow you if you're doing that or whatever it is. And it's just a way to just be more engaging, because you're in person instead of like, oh well, this, that, and then it gets lost in the folds of like so many things. So like I'll go to a con and literally be able to just take a picture of someone, like, hey, can you send me a picture? And then they just add me on Instagram. And it's just like I've created that connection. And I always tell people like, dude, that connection is going to be there for every time that you're at this event, whichever event it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell no, I ain't.
Huh?
Then he's like, you ain't growing your hair long. Stop lying. I'm like, oh, hell no, I ain't.
No.
No. But you know what? Okay, let's go back to that 24. So here's the thing. What we tell ourselves, we will make manifest.
I know where you're heading with this one.
There was an individual who told you, because things didn't work out the way that they had hoped at a time. They said, I'm only going to get to 24. I'm never going to get to 25. This was a couple years ago. And they made manifest that. They still haven't busted that 24 bubble. And what I shared with you to hopefully share with this individual, if they're open with it, is you need to cut that contract. Meaning you need to say, I cancel out this idea that I'm only going to get 24, because if we put that out there, then we're going to experience that. And, you know, people may think this is woo-woo, whatever, but we're energy. Our thoughts create what we experience. Now, for me, right, I shared openly with this on the show that this week has been challenging. I understand that what I've experienced is a result of my thoughts. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because I need contrast. I have to have thoughts that make manifest things that don't feel so good, so that I can make a different choice consciously to have thoughts that I make manifest things that do feel good. So I'm not even mad about that because it's a learning process. But a lot of people don't realize that you either speak life into yourself or death. And if you tell yourself that you're never going to achieve a certain goal, either because you don't believe it or because you're trying to be spiteful of the company you work for, and then you decide you want to have a new experience, I encourage you to give yourself permission to have a new experience. Otherwise, you're just never going to achieve that circle of excellence.
So, perfect example, right? There's a lovely anime called Naruto, and it's a story about this kid that goes through a traumatic experience of his parents passing away. And so he's like,
I pause real quick. I see you, tall and walking, who joined.
Oh,
I can't wait until she joins and shares with the listening audience how her fitness journey has cultivated joy within her and her kids, because I see them up in the gym with her as she's getting ready for shows. So just dropping that little nugget there.
Okay. No, but it was so the anime is Naruto. It's about this kid that becomes an orphan because his parents end up passing away, and he's dealing with all these like just obstacles. And he tells himself like he wants to be the Hokage, which is like the head of the village, basically. And so what happens is he goes through endless battles trying to figure out his friends, yada yada yada. And basically his slogan is "Believe it." Like he literally says, "Believe it." Like, you know what I mean? That's like, or in Japanese,
believe it. Like Mickey Mouse.
Like,
believe it.
Sorry, that was boy. But you know, but like that's his thing. Like he says, "Believe it." So he keeps believing himself, and then he eventually becomes the head of the village. But that's the mentality. He believed that from an inception of when he brought that idea of like, I'm gonna change this like narrative of who I am or who I'm perceived as, because the village looked at him as like he was a bad thing because he had basically a evil presence in him because his parents had sealed it. It's confusing, but like anime heads will get it basically. But
here's the thing though, is it really confusing? Because look at it from this perspective. Your family, right, kind of thought you were weird because you dyed your hair, not your whole family, but family, right? Thought that you were kind of weird because you dyed your hair. My family still calls me the crazy twin. So it's not weird when you buck what people believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be with anything, right? So if you stand up away from the folds, like, you know, I'm the only person in the family really that has an Android. Everybody has iPhones, right? So I'm already right off the bat, he got to be a black sheep because he wants to do everything.
You got a better camera, I'll tell you that. Sorry, Apple. I got an Apple laptop and my Apple phone, and his camera puts ours to shame.
But that's what I mean. Like, literally, like, once you stay away, like, you stray away from the norm, you almost be perceived as like, oh, that you're different now. You know what I mean? And different is a good thing, and it has its challenging moments because sometimes difference leads to you being isolated from the, like, you know, from the path. But at the same time, that path sometimes leads to a better outcome for you because you're getting a different viewpoint instead of what everybody else sees on the regular aspect of it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting because a lot of the work I do with people is getting comfortable being rejected. Because to really grow and expand, you have to recognize you cannot grow and keep the same experiences. It doesn't, whether it's people, a job, a relationship, an ideology, you know, to grow means to examine and let go of what no longer serves you. And it thus creates friction, which can feel, even when it's not, like rejection. And so part of being joy-filled is being comfortable in the uncomfortable loneliness of being rejected or alone.
I mean,
or dolo.
I see what you did there. That was a good one. But like literally, like, and I get it. I think I always love to use Kobe Bryant as a perfect example because he went through like the whole isolation of like, he basically alienated himself from his family in a sense, right? And he was like,
He
yo, I have
alienated himself from his teammates to a degree because he would show up and work out at 4 a.m. They'd be rolling in at 7. And
correct.
Yes.
Correct. And he'd already had his workout way before they started. But that basically that isolation, he learned comfort in it at the same time too, because it was just like a regular day to him where, you know, you had other great players that try to emulate that weren't on that level yet because Kobe had been doing it for so long. And even like I think the perfect example was LeBron James and them were in the Olympics with Kobe. And Kobe was there early in the morning like it was a regular thing. And they're coming back from like a club and they're like, damn, this dude's like shooting shots over here right now. Like when we're all trying to go to sleep. And then so they started picking that mentality during the Olympics of like, oh, if Kobe's at the gym, we got to get to the gym too. And it inspired them because it just showed them that like, dude, you can get to these levels of like whatever aspiration you want if you only set your mind and tweak a little things that help to basically set you aside from the others. Like he might not have been like the tallest player, he might not have been the best, you know, shooting person or shooting guard in the beginning, but he worked on that craft to basically get himself at the point where it became second nature to him, you know. And I love that mentality so much. Like I think it's just how do you know, you might not be the most talented person, but if you can outwork what you did, you know, with your previous person or yourself, it just becomes second nature that you become really good at that skill set that you're trying to achieve, you know.
Do you celebrate yourself?
I could do better celebrating myself. I do. Truthfully, I do. Like if I like, you know, like I guess the funny thing is getting like the circle of excellence, right? Remember when we made the video of my hallway and I was just dancing with the show? And that was like funny as shit. But like, I mean, I try to like.
So, for example, yesterday you had a very challenging leg workout due to an unexpected knee tweak. We'll say.
Not injury. It's knee tweak.
I didn't say injury.
I know you didn't. We're not putting that out there. Knee
but
tweak.
my point is, you could have easily like thrown in the bag and not done a workout, but instead you went and just worked a different part of your body.
I was so pissed. Let's keep it a buck. I was so pissed, and then it was a great way to alleviate the.
That's true, but a lot of people would have taken that challenge and used it as the reason why they weren't going to get their workout in. Right? Mm-hmm. Another example. Last week, I was at the gym and I was overcome with emotion. I was crying. I could have stopped, but I didn't. I continued my workout as soon as I got my feelings out. But the point is,
I've done that.
After that workout, you don't celebrate yourself for like sticking to it, even though it was maybe not what you wanted it to be?
No, actually, I loved it. I think, in all honesty, I left there feeling better because I got to still work out. And it might not have been the workout. Like today I did legs and my legs felt so much better. Like I didn't do the same movements that we did. I just did different ones. But I was like, I don't feel the gimpiness that I felt yesterday. And that was the thing that like, I was like, let me test it out today, make sure it's good. But like, I felt good yesterday when we left the gym and I was like, I still got to work out. And that's what I wanted to do. So I did, you know, tries and shoulders, just did more upper body focus. And then today I made up for it. So then tomorrow I'll get back to doing like back and core. So I'll kind of mix it up. But it was, at the end of the day, it was a workout, which I was grateful for. And I felt like I had accomplished what I wanted to accomplish because, you know, I'm at the gym. So like, I'm not just going to just not do some kind of workout or activity that helps promote my mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so my thing is I think for me, and I can only speak for me, but having come from a background in addiction and, you know, home challenges, celebrating myself has been a critical part of being able to rewire my neural pathways so that I can find the joy within the challenges.
Yeah.
Like being able to say, okay, you know, the results may not be the way I had expected, but I'm still in the fight and I'm still persevering. I'm still pushing through, and being able to look at it from that perspective, that makes it so that you're resilient. It makes it so that you can look at the bright side of what's not working out rather than focusing on the end result of what you're working for.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, too many times I think we're told to play small, and
yeah, we don't do that.
No, why? There's so
No.
much world out there. There's so much life out there. There's so much opportunities out there. And it's just it's a false narrative that we're told to do. But once you step out that mindset, you're like, oh, I'm capable of this. I'm capable of that. Like you've tapped into a new avenue of who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Instead of just listening to the same old narrative of like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, or whatever. So it happens even in my family of like, oh, well, we wanted you to be a doctor. Well, I didn't want to be a doctor. No, I shout out to doctors, but like that was not my calling.
You can be a doctor on me anytime you want.
Hey, yo, relax. Like,
I'm just saying.
That's later on. Let me go change to Dr. Mario. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I mean that's my thing is like I don't try to let too many of the outside influences affect me too much. I get it. I'm human. I have my moments, but like once you're confident in yourself, you just become like who you are as a person, you know, and people will love it or hate it. It is what it is. It's just human nature.
Well, so we got 6 minutes. What do you want to do? What do you want to share to wrap up this episode of the Bright Side Chronicles, where we actually got your Instagram to work again?
I know, thank God. That was cool as hell because I like
it was lame.
A lot of my peoples and just friends and bonds that I've made are on IG to like Facebook and stuff like that. And I mean, message wise that I want to leave with, first off, I want to give a shout out to my little brother because he got a new job, which I'm so excited for him because he's getting out of a job that he didn't like at all. And I'm like, go find your happiness, go find your joy. And then I also want to give a shout out to my older brother, Nase, because we were shooting shit about the Ghana game and I caught up with him briefly and just like checking to make sure he's good. And then I'm also going to shout out my sister as well because I just want to make sure that she's getting better with her whole knee situation and life in general. But really, Mom, you're laughing because you know what I'm about to say. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
you have no idea what I'm about to say.
No, but no, really, in all honesty, shout out to just the people that have been keeping my mental straight during Mental Health Awareness Month in June. By the way, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So shout out to yourself, shout out to the family. Like, even the beach trips the lake trips or whatever have been therapeutic because, dressing up as fucking Goku at the beach is funny as shit. And just keeping my mental straight is the biggest thing. So, but what were you going to say?
Let's see, for the listening audience. Well, what I was going to say, one of the first reasons I ever fell in love with you 6 years ago was
the yellow hair.
It was not the yellow hair.
My fault.
It wasn't even your dick, and that's pretty high up there. Just saying. You got bigger ones than me, brother. I'm just saying.
Brother.
I mean, you are dressed as Luffy. No. Was your commitment to family? How, particularly your siblings, how dedicated you are to really making sure they're good and, just being excited to root them on and whatever endeavors that they go after. So I think it's such a beautiful quality in you, and I love it so much.
I appreciate it.
For the listening audience, tomorrow's not promised. We owe it to ourselves to experience joy. And a lot of people are, they give me pushback on that ideology. Oh, well, I have no money, or you don't know what it feels like to be me. It feels so hard. Life's not fair. In this moment, you can go outside and get $1 pack of bubbles and blow bubbles. You can dig in dirt. You can, you can use dish soap to create Play-Doh, which our niece did yesterday. But the point is, instead of finding all the reasons why you can't experience joy, give yourself permission to have reasons to experience joy. Because even in your darkest moments when things feel impossible, those glimmers of laughter, of connection, of play are the things that make getting through that dark time palatable, makes it easier. So Until then, we thank you so much for engaging.
I know
all
that
of you amazing people.
this was awesome, yo. Like it was really.
Moves,
I had a great time.
action, toy now. All the people on Instagram, you know, Jenna, we appreciate and love you all.
Thank
And
you guys
now
so
that
much.
I have figured out the technical difficulties, we will be back next week.
Bye, guys.